Hi, my name is Berta, and this is a VR2 challenge called Tarot Tides. This challenge is held by Holly from Cape Cod Creatures, and I'm doing this challenge because it is a challenge for me as well. I'm not so good in the video recording, so please forgive me if it's not perfect. Well, there is one more reason I wanted to apologize up front. English is not my first language, so I hope there will be no misunderstandings. Well, there are 8 questions, so let's go right ahead. Question number 1 is, what is your most favorite, most used deck and why? Well, my most used deck is, and the favorite one for many years, is the Thoth deck. I have bought it about 4 or 5 years ago, and pretty much using only this deck ever since. I do remember when I was trying to choose another deck, it was one of my birthday presents I have chose for myself. This deck was pretty much the last on my list. I couldn't get through all the images in the cards because I didn't understand them at that time. I didn't know much about this deck and Thoth tarot neither. But after several weeks of research and checking which decks to buy, this was the one actually I have ended up with. It is, and why it is so my favorite and used so much, it's because it has moved me into another level of tarot understanding. I still can say that I'm learning every day from this deck. Quite several times this deck has actually surprised me. Nevertheless, it gives me, it moves me into another level. I have started to put the whole information that the cards are giving us, from the meaning of the card to the place in the spread, and then it was actually trying to be the complete story. So this has really changed a lot in my tarot readings. So, but it is quite well used. It's already dark on the edges. Nevertheless, it is really my favorite. But not so long time ago, about 2 months ago, I have bought one more deck, and this is a Challange tarot. And I think I remember when I have been using the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot, and it was very difficult for me to switch into any other deck because there was these kind of images and on the cards. It was totally not corresponding to me, and that's why I said that the Thoth the tarot moved me into another level, because it is much easier for me now to switch into any other deck. And this Challange tarot, it is wonderful. They have beautiful pictures, lovely images, and it's very easy to get the information out of them. So when you're asking the questions with these cards, the answers comes pretty much naturally. But it is, for me, it is thanks to the Thoth tarot that it has been so difficult for me at the beginning. Question number 2. What is your least favorite and least used deck and why? Well, I have also prepared the deck here to show you, because I don't know what is the name of the deck. I have bought it when I was, I don't know, 15, and I remember that was pretty much the only deck I could get at that time. I am from the small town. It's a small community we have in here, not so many places you could buy. I couldn't buy online at that time neither. And not to mention that the tarot wasn't very popular, or esoteric wasn't very popular in this neighborhood as well. Nevertheless, that was the only deck I could get, and I have been instantly drawn into it. But I have never used it for divination. I mean, for myself, of course, when I was learning about tarot, trying to read from the little, there was not even a booklet, I remember. It was kind of a sheet of paper folded in a small book. But I really couldn't get through, and I will tell you why. I will show you why, perhaps. First of all, it's black and white, so it's, the major arcana pretty much are black and white. This is a Fool. I hope you can see that. And then just to make it a little easier, I have even put some keywords on the cards, but it still didn't ring the bell. Let's have a look on, let's say this is the Three of Cups. It is just this on those images. There was nothing else, or not so much anyway, that I could get out of it. Let's say this is the Ten of Cups. So I didn't understand this deck at all. I have tried to use it many times. As I said, I have even put some of the meanings, the keywords on the top and the bottom of the card. But just no go for me. Question number 3. What time of the day do you feel your reading are the strongest? Well, in general, I don't have any particular favorite time of the day. There is just one time of the day, and then we will actually go smoothly into the question number 4. What time of the day are the weakest? And for me, the weakest is the very late night or very late evening. I am the owl, as they say. I like to sit in the evenings and work and do some kind of readings and researching, working on my blog or any other things. This is not a problem, but once I have started to read very late in the evenings, it has been not really good. I didn't like it, and I didn't feel good with it, and I know that I didn't get as much information out of the card as I could have done in the middle of the day. So these are the weakest, because I do not have the strongest part of the time of the day. Question number 5. Do you take your cards into nature or reading in the nature? Why or why not? Well, I do not. Of course, I do participate, or I have participated in several meetings or several events concerned with tarot, but I don't do like in the nature. Once, it was also many years ago, I was taking the cards with me and tried to practice some spreads. It was actually on the beach. We have quite a few lakes around in here, so it was summertime. And then when the people noticed that these are not actually playing cards, these are the tarot cards, they wasn't very happy about it. Let me put it this way. So I was rather young person at that time, and then I said, okay, maybe too small community to everybody know each other, so it wasn't the best thing to do. So I don't do this anymore. Question number 6. Do natural forces or weather have an effect on your readings? Examples. Well, I would say I like to read with a new moon. Not in the full moon. The full moon, I feel totally exhausted. I am really tired during this part of the month. But in the new moon, I get the clear informations. It is very easy for me to go through the questions, through the even difficult cases. So it is really the best part for me. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, I like, but it's mostly in the summertime. I like to read during the thunderstorm and heavy raining. I really feel good about when it's raining, so I like it very much. So I also feel very good and full of energy to read the cards. Question number 7. How do you really feel about reversals? Do they interrupt? Or how do they go in the readings? Well, I don't use reversals, but I did especially for, I don't know, the first 2-3 years of my tarot adventure, let me put it this way. But right from the beginning, I remember that these were not very, I didn't understand it that much. I couldn't get through. Every single time I have noticed that the card is reversed, it was instantly as a negative statement for me. And even though I knew the meaning of the card, it was still negative statement. Within the years, I have learned that the card, each card has a lot of positive and negative and neutral informations to give us. Depends which are the cards in the neighborhood, where are they in a spread and so on, or what is actually the question about. So then I decided I really not using any reversed card, but I did. So I do respect people who does that, but it just didn't work for me. If you could change or improve one thing about your tarot skills, what would it be? Well, if I could have this knowledge and start all over again, I would definitely do in another way, because the first I have read every single possible thing about tarot, and it didn't we didn't have the internet at that time. The books I was able to find, it was really not very much, so it was very difficult this way. And then I have started to learn from the real tarot passionists and a lot of people who are authorities in this in the tarot. And then I have find out that, okay, let's get familiar with the card itself, let's put some notes, do the meditation is not very much for me, but at least do write down the thoughts of the tarot cards, what it means to you first, and then you could read about it or check what is the whole story. But it was more difficult for me this way. So if I could go back in time, I would definitely try to find a master, a teacher, someone to guide me through the tarot. So that's why I love all these communities that we have these days in the as Facebook groups or tarot communities, that they are supporting each other. They are giving you heads up what is good, what is not good, what you should focus at first, and then what to do later. So this was really this is what I like, and I really feel sorry that I couldn't have done it at the beginning of my journey. Well, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for having the opportunity to do the video as a response to the tarot cards. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.